Hey loves, this is Andréa Michelle, the #1 purpose educator in the world, and you're listening to the Finding Bliss podcast, episode number 87. Today we're going to discuss waiting for permission. Let's get into it.
We've all heard how different sciences and religion are, but are they really that different? In Finding Bliss, we'll explore how the rules of attraction really don't change between the two. Andréa Michelle, certified life coach and program creator, will show you how to find the perfect happiness you crave in the midst of chaos. We'll explore how you can create your own happiness and ignore the negative external factors in your life. We're so excited that you're joining with us in our journey to Finding Bliss.
Hey loves, guess what? I'm bringing Goal Setting Week back. Except this time, it's not going to be a week, but it's going to be a workshop. In fact, I'm hosting 2 separate live workshops. The Goal Setting Workshop will be held on Saturday, April 18th, and the Advanced Goal Setting Workshop will be on Saturday, April 25th. The last time I hosted Goal Setting Week, I was joined by over 150 women, and we busted 5 of the most common myths around goal setting. This time around, we're going to review what those common myths are because I think they're still prevalent in today's society, but I'm going to update the information so that we can deal with the uncertainty of COVID-19. During the Advanced Goal Setting Workshop, we're going to talk about the role of the conscious and unconscious mind. We're going to talk about the importance of intentions while setting your goals, how your emotions can affect your goals. We're going to break down the 3 types of energy needed to achieve your goals, which is the be, do, have model. And we're going to talk about creating well-informed goals to successfully achieve your goals and so much more. If you're feeling stuck and unsure of what your next steps are, then I would love for you to join me for both of these goal setting workshops on Saturday, April 18th and April 25th. Hey loves, welcome back to the Finding Bliss podcast. And if you are new around these parts, welcome. I am so very glad that you are here. I'm glad you decided to hit play. I'm glad you decided to download. I am just so extremely grateful for your presence. And I know that there's so many amazing podcasts that you can be listening to. And so the fact that you are listening to this one is so extremely humbling. And I am so extremely grateful for you. So thank you. All right, I am just going to get right into today's episode because, to be perfectly honest with you right now, I'm just a little bit fired up. I don't know if you can feel my energy. I don't know if you can sense it. I don't know what, but I am so fired up right now. And so I just want to deliver this message to you in the spirit in which I'm feeling it, with the same energy. So here we go. Let's talk about waiting for permission. Okay. I think this is extremely important, especially as women, and especially during this time right now, because while we see this uprising of women, while we see this consciousness, more women are becoming more conscious and aware of their power, we also see this, what's the word I'm looking for? We see this resistance to that energy. And so what's happening is that women are standing up, taking their rightful place, and then we're seeing this resistance energy at the same rate, not quite the same, but we're also seeing women take a step back because they're like, well, this person tried it and went forth and look what happened to them, and I don't want that to happen to me. So there are some women who are deciding, yes, I know who I am, I know how I should show up, but I am not going to do that because I don't want to offend anyone, or I don't want people to think that I'm crazy. So I want to talk about really, truly waiting for someone to give you permission. Here's the scoop on that. No one is going to give you permission to show up as your authentic self. No one is going to give you permission to be great. No one is going to give you permission to truly live a life of your dreams. No one is going to support you 100% of the time. Do you know why? Because that's your job. It is not even anyone else's responsibility to give you permission to live your life according to how you see fit. It is not anyone's responsibility to create this beautiful environment and this beautiful path for you to walk so that you can simply be great. That is your responsibility. And so I want to say for you, if you are listening to this podcast and you are waiting for a spouse, if you are waiting on your significant other, if you are waiting on your children, you're waiting on your parents, you're waiting for your employer, your employees to give you permission to go out there and be great, you will be waiting until death. Let me say that again, because I want to make sure that you understand this, and I want to make sure that you get this. If you are waiting on someone else to give you permission to live out your dreams, if you're waiting for someone else to give you permission to follow your passion, if you are waiting on someone else to give you permission to pursue your goals, you will be waiting until the day you die. Because as I said before, it is no one's responsibility to give you permission. No one is obligated to give you permission. No one has to give you permission to do anything you want to do in your life. I don't want to sound all, like they used to say when I was growing up, cutthroat, meaning all like harsh and brash or anything like that. But whatever it is that you want in life, you have to go and get it. You have to pursue it. There is a scripture in the Bible that for a long time I didn't necessarily understand what it meant until I began living a life and I began pursuing my goals and my dreams, and I began to really truly develop a better relationship with Christ. And the scripture says, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent do what? Take it by force. And so what that simply means is, if there is something that you want, if there is something that you feel like you should have in your life, then you have to go and get it. You have to go and take it. And basically what that means is by any means necessary. By any means necessary. And I'm not simply giving anyone a permission to go out and lie and be unethical and be immoral or anything like that. That is not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. So I want to make sure I put that out there. But if you know there are some goals that you want to pursue, if you know that there are visions that God, Holy Spirit, universe, Jesus Christ gave you pertaining to your life, then it is your responsibility to go out and get it. It is yours and yours alone. It is your responsibility to spend time in quiet, in prayer, in meditation. It is your responsibility to write out the vision and make it plain and run with it. And though it tarry, it will not be long. It is your responsibility to keep hold of that thing until it comes to pass. And during that time, will there be people who will say that you're crazy? Yes. Will there be people who will criticize what you're doing? 100%. You better believe it. Will there be people who will think that you've lost your mind because you are pursuing this thing? Yes, 95% of the people will. But should you let that stop you from pursuing your dreams and your goals? Absolutely not. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Elon Musk. There's a book, I can't remember what the name of the book is. I just started reading it on Elon Musk. And in this book, it talks about, his childhood and some of the things that he endured and how he was raised and how his mind works. And Elon Musk, for the most part, he had a pretty miserable childhood because he was bullied at school because of the way his mind worked. He had this truly photographic mind. And so the book says that he read all of the books in his local library, and then he went to the bookstores. He read all the books in the bookstore. When those ran out, he went back to the library that was close to him and started reading the encyclopedia, and he was able to basically absorb all of the information that he learned. And he's a very factual guy, so when he was talking to kids and kids would say something that's incorrect, he would correct them. And so that, of course, remember being a kid, no kid wants to be corrected. And so that cost him a lot of friendships. But Elon Musk, from a little kid, knew that he wanted to do something with consciousness and sustainable energy and creating this place that's livable for all humans. And so that's what drove his desire to create the Tesla, this all electrical car. That's what burned his desire. Also, he said in this book that he wants to create a space in case humans, this is kind of funny, but in case humans basically destroy Earth, he wants to create another space where humans could live and life would be sustainable. And so what did he do with that? He has the SpaceX program, right? That has to do with space. My point is, Elon Musk is a billionaire, but Elon Musk is not a billionaire by accident. Elon Musk is a billionaire because he decided to give himself permission to pursue his purpose, his passion, his dreams, and his goals. Do you know how many people criticized him on his path to being great? As a matter of fact, I think he's been married like 2 or 3 times. Because one of his ex-wives said that Elon is always going to do what Elon feels is right for Elon. Now, that attitude, the way that his mind works, it doesn't work well for relationships, which again is why he's been married multiple times and divorced multiple times. And it doesn't have to be that way for him. It doesn't have to be that way. He can have this successful business, and also he can be successful in his home life, because there are hundreds of thousands of men who are successful in their careers and businesses and also successful in their home lives. So it's possible. He just needs to make the choice to do that. But that's not what I'm talking about. My point is, ladies, gentlemen, those of you who listen, stop waiting for someone to give you permission to live your best life, because it will not happen. And not only will it not happen, but it can't happen. And the reason why it can't happen is because no one else can see the vision as vividly as you see the vision. No one else has the same aspect and ratio of color of the vision that you do. And even if you try to describe the vision for someone, you would still leave pieces out. And they still would not receive the vision, even in the same way that you're putting it out there, because as information comes to us, we filter the information through generalization, we filter the information through distortion, and we filter the information through deletion. So even as information comes to us, we filter the information and we only hold on to the things that we feel are important to us. And that's the number one reason why when you decide to buy a white car, everywhere you look, everywhere you go, you are going to see white cars. But not only will you start seeing white cars, you will begin to see the specific make and model of the car that you desire, or if you've already purchased it, the one that you've purchased it, because the mind is filtering information. And when you say that this white 2020 Honda Civic is important to me, then the brain begins to take in and filter all of the information that it relates to a 2020 white Honda. And it's not right or wrong. It's just simply the way that it is, because at any given point, there are 2 million bits of data that come to us. That's in our external world. Throughout the day, there are 2 million bits of data that come to us. And then with that 2 billion bits of data, our mind has to filter through and take in what's important to us. And so if at any specific moment you are thinking about a 2020 Honda Accord, that's what's important to you at that moment. And so the brain is going to delete everything that's not the 2020 Honda Accord. And when one comes into your orbit, it's going to be like, oh, wait, there it is. There it is. So, beloved, your friends, your family, your children will not be able to see the vision as you see it because it is not theirs. And so that's the number one reason why it's important for you not to wait for anyone to give you permission, but to go and take it by force, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you're seeking, whatever it is that you need. It is your responsibility to go after it and pursue it. And it really is that simple. It really is that simple. It is your responsibility to pursue it. It's your responsibility to go after it. So if you see yourself with this amazing life, if you can, and understand this, that if you can visualize it, then that simply means that it is possible for you. I want to say that again because I want to make sure you hear me. If you can visualize something happening in your life, then that is confirmation that whatever it is that you see in your vision, it is 100% possible for you. And then it becomes your responsibility to go after it and do the things to make it happen. It doesn't mean you have to spend your time figuring out the how, because if you've been listening to me for a while, then you know that I fundamentally believe that the how is not our responsibility. But what you need to do is put yourself in a place to receive. Put yourself in a position so that when the opportunity comes to you, you can pick up and go forward. And you don't have to go and lay the groundwork and create an infrastructure because the infrastructure is already created. So, beloved, I am asking you to stop waiting for someone else to give you permission. And I'm asking you to give yourself permission to be who you want to be, do the things that you want to do, and have the things that you desire to have. And I know this may be counterculture to some of you. This is a paradigm shift, giving yourself permission. So here's an affirmation to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to where you desire to be. I am a wonderful person. I am beautifully created, and I have the power to give myself permission to do whatever it is that I want to do. I am everything I need to be right now. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the podcast and the podcast in general. It would be such a great honor if you would subscribe and review it for me. And if you've enjoyed it that much, I hope you'd share it with your friends. I'm looking forward to us journeying together to find our bliss. Would you like to build your confidence and, more importantly, empower yourself? If so, then I'd like to invite you to download my 23 affirmations to build confidence and empower yourself. These were beautifully created so that you can print them out, hang them in your office, home office, bathroom, or wherever you need to see them on a daily basis to build your confidence and empower yourself. Please download them today. Are you a leader who's ready to discover your purpose and your passion, find balance, reconnect with, and find your identity so that you can create more happiness, fall in love with yourself, make more money, and live an abundant life? If that is you, then I would love for you to join my brand new Facebook group called the Confident Women's Collective. In this group, the one thing that we realize is that we are a force of one, but a movement collectively. So if you are ready to discover who you really are, stand in your power, walk in your purpose so you can experience more love and happiness, then I would love for you to join the Confident Women's Collective.